Hello and good evening to you all. Cheers and good evening. Whether you can hear me, I do. Nobody seems to be there yet. So I'll have another sip of wine, Keith Floyd style. Today, the 21st of October. Boy, does the year fly by. Susie, Paulie, Melissa, Bernadette, Kaz, Mother Duck, and Heidi, and Garden Room, Everless Sunglasses. Evening from Essex. Well, good evening to Essex. Parts of Essex can be particularly lovely. I love North Essex, very nice part of the world. I do not love Essex police. Essex police are the worst police force in Britain. And today we begin by saying condolences to the family of Bobby Charlton, who has died. Now, Bobby Charlton was someone I did not ever meet, but my great uncle, Peter Howard, was in the Munich air disaster alongside him, and he was a very courageous gentleman who worked for the Mail, who went back into the plane and rescued several people. He crawled from the flaming wreckage of the plane on his hands and knees. 23 people sadly died on that plane in 1958 on the 6th of February. Now, he had phoned in his full account and it was printed on the 7th of February. So he did his job, even though he was injured very badly himself. But he was a courageous gentleman and he did his job. And it's very sad to hear of the mob was somebody with dignity, somebody to be respected. And Bobby Charlton, it's sad to hear of his death. So there we are. But it reminded me of my great uncle, Peter Howard, the person who was also in the Munich air disaster alongside him. So that is my only connection to that particular story. So, secondly, I would like to thank all of you who have watched my video that I uploaded. It was a video that was made some time ago, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was only a short video, but I will be making more such videos, and I hope to do some videos where I can start interviewing other people. Amanda asks me, what did I think about Andrew Bridgend? Well, I thought it was absolutely astonishing that this piece of toe rag would stand up and give a speech of the type he gave, but most people walked out of the chamber, didn't they? So not even his own scumbag ex-colleagues, who once were quite happy to associate with him, even they decided to leave. So absolutely astounding. But he won't be in Parliament in the next election. He will lose his seat. So he's another one that will go on the merry way of maybe Stockholm, hopefully. Let's put him on board. I think that's probably the best place to put him. There we go. Harriet says, you missed the start of the video. Well, I'm sorry you didn't get to see it, Harriet, but Debbie McGee is here to help. Well, Debbie, if we want to do a quiz later, if you're available and free, it's always lovely to have Debbie McGee. So I did have a drink earlier with an English gentleman who I've known for many years who lives in the locality, and I was trying to persuade him that he should come along and join in this program, but unfortunately he has other obligations this evening. But I would never replace you, Harriet, because you are the best. You are the best Debbie McGee out there that there is to be. So there we go. I'm very sorry we didn't have a program yesterday evening, but storms are storms, and unfortunately, in this neck of the woods, when the internet goes down, it goes down. Um, it's been much better weather today, and I have sat in the port of Saint Tropez and had the lovely company of the local bar people and many other things. So cheers to all of them. The wonderful Bistro de Port, which is my favorite little local bar there. There are many other places available, but I prefer the ones where I'm known. So that's where I like to go. Oh dear, I've probably given too much away now. The stalkers and the horrible Ecclestons might turn up and start harassing me there. That could be a bit of a problem, but never mind, it doesn't matter. Your area, so I'm opening myself up to being harassed if that were the case. Anyway, never mind, it doesn't matter. My mother used to have a friend who used to say that if somebody died, she would say, "Oh, never mind, it doesn't matter." If someone spilt the milk from their tea, she'd say the same thing. "Never mind, it doesn't matter." That was how it worked in that poor woman's life. She was a little bit delusional, I must say. Never mind, it doesn't matter. It comes back and sticks in my mind all the time, that phrase. It can be applied to any situation. That is the great thing about the English language, and I hope you all will think about the English language and learn more about it. Angela says Jeffrey got saturated yesterday when he was out for training for the half marathon he's doing next May. Well, we wish Jeffrey all the best with his half marathon. Thank you very much to Jeffrey for all his fine enthusiasm. As for doing a tour, Susie Ashenden, it seems that the Sean Atwood tour has been put on hold because Sean Atwood has decided to do a tour with some kind of gangster with the same woman that was organizing the tour with me. But anyway, perhaps I will do my own tour with somebody else. I think that may be a better thing to do. I wish Sean Atwood all the best with his tour. I hope his tour is a mammoth success with his gangster and this woman. I have to say, I didn't find their organization skills to be particularly the way I would have organized it. They're welcome to do their own thing. So perhaps it is time that I find somebody else to help me organize a tour. And for Inter-on-Sea, I don't know if that's a place that would be big enough or there would be a place suitable enough to have as a venue, but somewhere within that vicinity have some kind of event. So maybe it is better I think about having my own tour. I think me in charge with somebody else. And we used to, the Steeple Times, have events with a lovely lady, Jackie Roth, Jackie Branston. We used to have debates. So we could revisit the format and have, questions and answers. It's pretty simple. It's easy to do. We've done it ourselves before. So perhaps we don't need the busybody event organizer who can't be bothered. because she's found some gangster to deal with. So perhaps it's time to move along. So let's see what comes next. I'm not sure. Mr. Lee Kicker is from Cone. Yes, Cone in Lancashire, I believe. Or is it Colne? I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But Cone, as far as I'm aware. Paulie says, I was the only touch of class on. Well, that's very kind of you to say. I think he has many good quality guests. He also has some that I would say were questionable. But I do respect him and like the gentleman and wish him all the best. So there we go. Marie Page, hello from Liverpool. Harriet wants me to call this forthcoming tour the Steeple Chase, the Steeples Chase, with an apostrophe. Well, I would add an apostrophe and an S beyond it, but cone is pronounced cone, as in ice cream cone. Well, there you go. Well, I did pronounce it that way in the first instance, Angela, but I did question whether it could be pronounced in other ways. Kaz Williams tells us that Ziggy's birth video is out tomorrow. Well, I wish Ziggy and Sean and Jennifer all the very best and happiness galore. I hope the video makes people happy if that's what they want to see. I have utterly no problem with these people. I wish them all the best in the world. So there we are. Do I play poker? No. I play backgammon. I play Monopoly. I love Scrabble. Not many people beat me at Scrabble. Even Barbara Minto, the first class of women at Harvard Business School, the first woman to work for McKinsey, she doesn't beat me at Scrabble. We are Scrabbleites. I love Scrabble. I have a Scrabble board in my home in Broadstairs, but nobody ever wants to play me at it. This is pathetic. I'm very saddened by it because they're all scared that they'll lose and they look silly. Well, for me, Scrabble is just fun. I just love words. Words are magical. That's why I love the great Susie Dent. So if there's anyone you want to follow on the internet right now, go follow Susie Dent on Twitter. She always has a word of the day. And follow, what's his name? Forgotten his name. Giles Brandreth. Follow him. He's also into words. He's a great little wordsmith. He's witty and warbling and wise, and I urge you all to follow people like that. Absolutely fantastic. Bambi loves Scrabble too. There we go. Well done, Bambi. We hope to have a game one day. She does Wordle, Quordle, square word, and difficult click word. Susie Ashenden would like me and Giles on tour. Well, I think Giles Brandreth is a little bit grander than I am, so no, I don't think he would be quite willing to waste his time on someone as small fry as me. But there we go. Anyway, he's a lovely gentleman, and I do enjoy hearing from him and the things he has to say, but I'm not quite in his league yet. I don't think I ever will be. And I certainly can't match him in the jumpers stakes. So there we go. Right, so Cass Williams doesn't like Giles's two-tone pinks. Well, if we all dressed the same, Kaz, the world would be a boring place. So I say I disagree with you on this one occasion. I think Giles Brandreth should wear whatever Giles Brandreth wishes to wear, just as Michael Portillo should wear the colours he wishes to wear. I think having a variety of colours is fabulous. Today I'm sporting a pair of red trousers and my red socks. You can't see it because they're down below, but there we are. So there we go. Tina De Silva wants tank tops. Well, I don't wear tank tops, Tina, but I do wear V-neck sweaters, sometimes without arms, but I don't know what you call them, but I don't call them tank tops. But that is a description that could be used of them, but it's not my particular choice of description, Tina, but there we are. Anyway, I enjoy wearing my lovely, colourful things, and that is superb. Harriet says, your video was great. You were humble when talking about yourself. It was sweet. Well, it was just a little introductory video that we made a long time ago, and I decided to put it live today. So if anybody hasn't seen this video, if you'd like to watch it, it's a little bit about Ghislaine Maxwell. It's a little bit about myself. It's a bit about murder, mystery, mayhem, a bit about a lady called Diana Moores, who was tragically murdered. It's another conversation, so it's a format that we will be doing more often, and soon I will start doing some videos once I work out how to do it with other people, which would be, I think, more of interest to you than hearing boring old, rambling old, ranting old me. There we go. So that is something that will be coming along. So Paulie liked the video, thought it was excellent. Tina enjoyed the video, found it relevant, obviously. Maggie Thatcher, TY for the announcement. I'm not sure who is pretending to be Margaret Thatcher, because obviously she isn't alive. We did know a lady in the local village who was called Margaret Thatcher also, but who was not the same one. So, and my father had a friend called Michael Jackson, who was also living in the local village. So there you go. That's a story for another day. People who share names with famous people. And then there's, of course, the lady Alison Jackson, who I also know, who fakes photographs of famous people. She's a Conservative Party councillor, actually, in Kensington. She lives in Edgerton Gardens. A curious lady, if ever there were one, but there we go. She's another one who gets up to all sorts with shenanigans, let's say, from the beginning. Margaret Thatcher on here is a troll. Blast him out. Well, right. Well, as Harriet has said, blast him out. I will get rid of the troll. Margaret Thatcher. Maggie Thatcher, you are no more on this channel. And why should anyone take the lovely Margaret Thatcher's name in vain? Shame on you. Out. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. There you go. I'm not quite in the league of Anne Robbins, but we have got rid of a pest. A petulant pest should not be in our midst. And I have family relatives this week who I believe suffering with COVID. I'm sorry to hear this. The return of COVID is bad, especially for people who are elderly, like the person in question, and that is not a good sign for the world. So I say we should think about that in our society. Now, I'm not proposing any lockdowns or lockups. I was very anti all of those, but it is a sad thing to hear of relatives of mine, in my case, who are suffering. So it's not a good thing for the world. I hope that the particular person, and I will not be naming them, gets better soon. But meanwhile, a truly dreadful piece of rotten rubbish called Tanya Gold has resurfaced in the Mail. She's written an article for the U magazine for the Mail. She goes, "Help, I've turned my dream home into a dump." Tanya Gold was left living in a shambles by a combination of bad taste and zero money until her interior designer friend stepped in. Here are the lessons she learned. Well, this is her moving into a farmhouse in Cornwall. This complete lunatic, deranged woman. We painted the farmhouse to match the Teletubbies, she says. This deranged lunatic is going on about how her house felt chaotic. She's going on about candlesticks. And her stupid house being like Lego Hogwarts. Well, Tanya Gold is somebody who I met many, many, many years ago. She is acidic beyond belief. She is toxic beyond belief. She benefited from an Oxford education, but she said the place where she was lucky enough to go, Oxford, was hellish and needed to be broken apart and stuffed with state school kids. She's best known for undercover reporting. She's most often to be found interviewing the likes of the late paedophile Jimmy Savile, or viciously attacking successful restaurateurs such as Keith McNally of Balthazar. This former alcoholic, and she was a drunk. I say cheers to all people who love a drink, but not to her toxic bag. Now I've lost the article. It's gone. Oh dear. Yes, she is a very vicious tongue, bad person. She once wrote a column for The Quitter, a magazine called The Quitter. I call her a poison pen. I hope she'll quit. Next. That is the problem of the dreaded Tanya Gold, is going on about her William Morris wallpaper and her this and her that. And she lives. Physically, I'm in a very dirty house. We married late, she says. Like the house. If we could fix it, we could fix ourselves. Oh dear. She is a complete nut job and a cream cracker. Lock her up. Tanya Gold, put Tanya Gold on the Bibby Stockholm and throw away the key. Tanya is one of the most dreadful pieces of junk I've ever met. I actually met her at a contest, Miss Great Britain, which I had sponsored with a drinks company I was involved in. And we had a various Miss. I became very friendly with Miss Norfolk, of all people. She was a lovely lady, Miss Norfolk. And we had Christine Hamilton and Teddy Sheringham and all sorts of people judging this contest in the end. A lady who lives in Los Angeles, I forget her name, blonde-haired lady was running it. But Tanya Gold was at the party, and I have to say, Toxic Tanya, she was the most memorable Miss Nobody I'd ever come across. The Miss Essexes and the Miss Nomas or whatever they were perfectly pleasant people, but Miss Tanya, she was definitely Miss Toxic, and it was at a hotel in Westminster, just across the river from the Houses of Parliament, and there we were. There you go. You'd never have thought it, but I was involved in Miss Great Britain. So there we are. That is that story. Right. So lots of people have been getting upset about the Conservative disaster. 50,000 Conservative votes wiped out in 2 seats in 2 by-elections. And now we're facing the next one, which will be Wellingborough and Rushendon, the home of Peter Bone. And Peter Bone's office has been vandalised. It is a says Bambi. I don't know how we say that. The constraphy. Peter Byrne. Peter throw the dog a bone, says Paulie. Peter Bone is on his way to his merry little studio in the skies in terms of his career. He has a sign outside his stupid office, which is now, it's a very dirty looking place. It says Peter Bone MP listening to Wellingborough and Rushendon. I don't think Peter Bone ever listened to anyone. He just flashed himself or whatever he did at innocent victims. He used to go on about Mrs. Bone and her views, but Mrs. Bone left years ago, so Mrs. Bone threw the bone out with the dog. She got rid of the old dog bone. He is a total disgrace. No, we don't like Mr. Peter Bone, but his shop is situated 2 doors away from something called Reptile World. That is an equally hellish sounding shop. Down here in the south of France, I went to a garden centre the other day and I saw parrots in cages and turtles and all manner of other creatures. I just wanted to go and take them all out and get them out of there, but obviously I was told I wasn't allowed to do that. But I think it is disgusting to lock up beautiful animals in cages and treat them in that fashion. It's disgusting, absolutely repugnant and revolting. And there were snakes and there were all sorts of things, and it makes me very upset. Poor canaries in cages, and the cruelty of our world. Put Peter Bone in the cage instead. It'd be far more useful. He doesn't deserve to be anywhere other than locked up in a cage, a cage marked destroy. chuck him in the sewage pit wherever he belongs. But, you know, this is a man who's accused of sexual misconduct and bullying. Absolutely appalling. And, you know, we've got this Donald Trump who you're also talking about. Yes, he may be in a cage also soon. He's a very stupid man, whatever you think of him, because he didn't know how to control his own staff. He didn't know how to talk to people. So it's no wonder he's ended up on the chopping block. Serves the man right, really, doesn't it? But as for Bone, send him home. You know, he got 62% of the votes at the last election, but that doesn't mean he's going to get it this time round. But it is now time to swap Bone for somebody else. You know, local constituents. One called Tony. I've always voted Conservative before, he says. I'll never vote for them again. They haven't got a clue what they're doing. I'll vote for the Liberal Democrats. Another goes, I'll vote Labour this time. Traditional Tories. Traditional Tories don't want dirty old Bone. You know, Bone has been a disaster for the Conservatives in Wellingborough and Rushden. But is Rishi Sunak listening? That is the problem. Rishi Sunak listens to no one. That is a major issue. You know, in The Guardian, The Observer, tomorrow morning, Catherine Bennett says, spare us devout MPs like Peter Bone. If we ever had faith, it's long lost. He is a practicing Christian. He does bang on about his Christianity, and she's right to point this out. He said, I am a Christian and I'm against the redefinition of marriage. That's Peter Bone, you know. He is one of the brethren, the Plymouth Brethren. But he used to like to do strange rituals with his staff, allegedly. Very strange man. Bone was not an obscure backbencher like Tractor Porn Man or brazenly suspect like a number of swinish, greedy, or lecherous colleagues, continues the author of the Observer article. But until last week, considered, certainly by Johnson, who promoted him, and Channel 5's Jeremy Vine show, where he was a highly acceptable parliamentary character with mad hair and comic patter to prove it. Until his traditional views on marriage were demonstrated by the Sun newspaper to be decidedly flexible, Bone had impressed audiences with what was taken to be a disarming uxoriousness, with scores of references, not all of them crude, to what his wife, Mrs. Bone, thought about political issues. David Cameron would respond with double entendres in the House, found hilarious. For instance, I'm literally insatiable. Mrs. Bone's younger replacement, a fellow Brexit campaigner, has yet to become a rhetorical device, though she did, like her predecessor, find a place on Bone's parliamentary payroll. Shame on Peter Bone. Peter Bone, the greedy old Bone, the bone with a dog, the dog with a bone, the old boned out dog. It's utterly disgraceful, Mr. Bone. We want Peter Bone thrown in the gutter where he belongs. He belongs on the Bibby Stockholm. What a piece of reprehensible toe rag. Disgusting. No room in the world for more Mr. Bones. That is what I have to say on that topic. No more needed. I think I've said enough on that one. So let's get rid of him. Jeremy Hunt is set to quit as an MP. I'm not going to talk about this very much, but it looks likely that he is scared of suffering a Michael Portillo moment in Godalming and Ash. And he claims he will still be standing, but it looks like he will be in dire straits. Well, let's hope that Jeremy Hunt goes the same way as others. And meanwhile, back in the world of the Mail, there is a very nasty woman who has resurfaced. That is the battle axe in the Beamer, known as Liz Jones. Now, little Miss Liz is going on about how she's bought a house. She's almost a homeowner again. This is the Mail's worst columnist, without a doubt. She is a vile, vile person. We've talked to her before, so I won't go into it in detail, but she's a bankrupt. She's been this, she's been that, she's been the other. She attacks people with a passion. She is terrible. She's now going to be moving into a vicarage, a former vicarage. It's Georgian, grade 2 listed, and in the shadow of a church. It has original flagstone floors, fireplaces, and a stone staircase with wrought iron banisters winding up to a beautiful skylight. A new Welsh slate, sheep's wool's insulation, an air source heat pump, new wiring. It's my dream house, she says. Huge windows with shutters, a courtyard garden with walls no collie could climb. You can hear the river from the garden. It's really cheap, £295,000. She loves the price of everything. She's known for her obsession with that. This little pest I called the battle axe in the Beamer back in November 2012 when I wrote about her, when she was moaning about how her MacBook Pro worth £1,300 broke. Phil Spencer wanted his £46,000 out of her. He wanted it now. She is the most whinging, whining bore on the entire planet. Liz Jones is cuckoo. She used to have a farm called Upcott Farm in Somerset, and she upset the locals. She called them Amish, feral, old, and smelly, and then she wondered why they didn't like her. Of local restaurants, she stated, "I've given up trying to eat out in restaurants here on Exmoor. It's stuck in the 70s with only things in baskets and rhumbarber's on the menu. If you tell the waiter you're a vegetarian, you're stared at incredulously as if you are black." This is how vile this woman is. So extremely sorry, I have to say today, for the locals of the vicarage that she has finally bought. This dreadful piece of drivel. You could have Amanda Platel also, or you could have some of the other horrors from that paper, or you could equally have Owen Jones, who is another piece of toe rag, left-wing rubbish. He's, I'm honoured to be blocked on Twitter by such people. It's a great honour to be disliked by people like this. But I really wish in journalism we could have better quality writers. And it would be wonderful to have some good people. And Bambi Debonair is quite right. 295,000. There must be something wrong with it. Well, a vicarage for 295,000. Where on earth is she moving to? We hope she's going to Siberia because that would be the best place for her. And she's probably making it up anyway. She's completely cuckoo. She's off her merry rocker. Cara Murray asks, have I addressed the elephant in the room? I don't know what the elephant in the room is, Cara Murray, so perhaps you could be a bit more specific in your question. I talk about whatever I wish to talk about, Cara. I do not need to be dragged into any issue. And if you're referring to Israel and Palestine, I think there are wonderful people in Israel and wonderful people in Palestine. And I think it would be better in the world if they all got along. So if you're trying to provoke a discussion, that's where my starting point will be. As for Hamas, I hope Hamas is wiped out and thrown out with the trash. So there you go. If you want my view on that particular subject, you've had it in less than 30 seconds. So don't try and upset me with nonsense. So whoever you are, if you've got something to say something sensible. Otherwise, you'll be going on the Bibby Stockhead. So please take it and stuff it up your whatever and bog off. What a load of nonsense. No. Williams Tout says, when I type Matthews into YouTube bar, I'm third. I'm famous. Well, I'm not sure if that's true, but thank you for your support. You're a very generous supporter, William. Thank you. And there we go. I love the people who have been supportive. It's been so kind of you all. And Harriet says, you tell her. Yes, well, I'll tell them all. No, we don't tolerate in this space idiots and morons and grim grabbers like that. No, thank you. If this moron wants to come out with a load of a junk, take your junk and throw it up your own jacksie. I'm not interested in it. Bog off. Don't come here to say things of that type to me. I will say what I wish in response if you decide to do that. And Christina says she's rude. She has no manners. Precisely. Very bad form. Well, we hope that that person doesn't come back. It's lovely to have a wonderful bunch of people here who talk sense. Unlike on another channel where I did participate in a video and then was insulted by the guests, and then I was silenced. I will silence people who talk rubbish here, but I allow free speech. I allow people to have differing opinions. Some of you love Palestine, some of you love Israel. I don't have a problem with that. But I don't need some moron going on at me about World War III. That is just ridiculous. So please, whoever you are, go and talk somewhere else. You're more happy there. You'll be happy with the people, your own echo chamber where you can say what you want. Anyway, we won't be doing that. So now, with Harriet's kind assistance, we shall move along. I think it's time, I would suggest, to cheer things up, that we move along to a quiz. Harriet is ready when we are. Peace is the only way, says Pennine Counties. I agree with you. Chris 67 wants to talk about the Elgin marbles. Well, we're not talking about that tonight, but it can be brought up along with George Osborne on another occasion. Flash Errol says, good evening. Yourself and Sean Atwood are both gentlemen. I have no problem with Sean Atwood. I wish Sean Atwood all the best, but I will not be going any more on his channel, and I will not be participating in anything given his appalling, the rude moderators decided to stop me responding to his aggressive commentators. So, no, there will be no further dialogue with any of those ghastly common people. No, thank you. That is not a place suitable for me. I am my own voice. I will do whatever I wish. But I also love to welcome those that I chat with. And I think many of you come here because you're tired of the format that is offered on that particular channel. So I won't be doing any more of that. No, thank you. That is the end of that. So, right. I've chosen a page that I think we've done before. So I'll choose another page. Rachel asks, what am I doing tomorrow? I'll be going to the Festival of Châtenay in La Garde-Freinet, which is a lovely little village up the hill. So I will be attending the festival. The festival lasts for a week, but I will be going tomorrow. Should be jolly. Right. Question number 1. Which Spanish opera singer has recently become the Los Angeles Opera's artistic director? I don't know when recently was, but this book is slightly old, so name a particular singer. Sweet Sue wins with Placido Domingo. Sweet Sue gets the point. Let's give the point to Sweet Sue. Question number 2. In England, a PGCE is a postgraduate certificate in which subject? Orsini gets the point with education. Orsini gets the point. And thank you to Seeking Rainbows, who told them all off in the Atwood comments. Well, I thank you for doing that, but I have to say the Atwood comments were appalling, and his moderating people are appalling, and I don't want any more to do with that kind of nonsense. But I think Mr. Atwood himself is a perfectly delightful gentleman, but I don't want any more to do with any of this because, frankly, the trash that he has around him has no respect for me. So I'm not going to have myself subjected to such appalling things ever again. So the answer is no more. No more, never again. We attempted another attempt. And as for this event woman, she's too busy with doing another event with him to do with a gangster. So I have been binned. I understand quite what's going on, But there will be no more of that. It's time I do my own thing, and I will think about what I do, but I will not be doing any more with those people. No, it's not going to happen. It is best I do my own thing. I'm not obligated to do any more. So that's the end of that. So thank you all for your kind support. It is better to be one's own boss than reliant on people like a lady who has done nothing to organize anything when she asked me to put a date in my diary for the 23rd of November and has not even had the courtesy to come back to me and tell me she doesn't wish to go ahead with such. But I'm very glad, actually, because I do not want to do an event in Brixton in the first place. It's not my kind of thing anyway. You know, straight out of Compton. Rather be there. Thanks. Anyway, never mind. God bless to them all. Sean Atwood is a perfectly lovely gentleman, but no, his horrible moderation team, they are filth and scum, and they are revolting, and how dare they allow people to attack me in the way I was attacked the other day. I will not forgive or forget. So enough is enough. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Anyway, next question. Question number 3. So Harriet is awaiting the question. In history, Operation Husky was the code name for the Allied invasion of which Italian island in 1943? The winner is again Sweet Sue with Sicily. Meanwhile, Seeking Rainbows tells me not to be fragile. Well, okay, I'm not fragile. I'm just myself. So if you don't like it, you can bog off as well. I don't need to be told whether I should be fragile or not. That's ridiculous. Anyway, question number 4. In which present day country was Nobel Prize winner Mother Teresa born? It was not Albania, it wasn't Romania, it wasn't Poland, it wasn't India, it wasn't Germany, it wasn't Italy. No, none of you are getting it. Try again. It wasn't Russia, it wasn't Peckham. It wasn't Serbia or Iran. You really don't know where Mother Teresa was born. It was not Switzerland. It wasn't Poland. It wasn't Algeria or Czechoslovakia. It wasn't Montenegro, but you're getting close. It certainly wasn't South Kensington, and it wasn't Bangladesh. It wasn't the Netherlands. It wasn't Africa or Greece. It wasn't Mexico or Lithuania. It wasn't Monaco. The winner is Lydia of Aragon. Lydia of Aragon gets it with Macedonia. Lydia of Aragon gets the point. Question number 5. Now, I hope you can be a bit quicker off your marks on this one. The film Song of Norway is based on the life of which composer? It wasn't Beethoven, and I'm trying to direct you, but The winner is Nicole with Edward Grieg. Nicole gets the point. Now, I believe the trolls are coming back, but anyway, we will ignore them. Just keep ignoring them. Don't worry about them. That's what I do. Question number 6. The artist Vanessa Bell was the sister of which novelist? Vanessa Bell was the sister of which? The Sweet Sue gets the point with Virginia Woolf. Sweet Sue gets the point. Next question, number 7. In 1415, the Battle of Agincourt took place between which two countries? And we need the accurate answer, and it was France and England, which Sweet Sue gave. Sweet Sue gets another point. Sweet Sue is doing very, very well this evening. Question number 8. In which US city might you visit St. Patrick's Cathedral and Wall Street? A very easy question. Though Anchi is saying it's hard tonight. It's not Nicole Dublin. Woodsox 1311 wins with New York. Woodsox 1311 is the winner. But you're saying it's hard tonight, but Woodsox just got through the mush, or whatever you want to call it. Question number 9. 9 is divine. Who directed the 1995 film Braveheart? Who directed the 1995 film Braveheart? It was not Kubrick. The winner is Pennine Counties with Mel Gibson. Pennine Counties gets the point. The point goes to a cheers to Pennine Counties. Well done to you. You seem to be doing rather well, Pennine Counties. You're joining in as a newbie. Right. Question number 10. Halfway House. In which century was the telescope invented? We only need the century. We don't need the year. It was not the 15th century. Woodsox 131. No, you're wrong. The winner is actually Dirty Diane, who I'm told is causing a bit of trouble in the background. But Dirty Diane gets the point with the 17th century. So we will allow Dirty Diane to have the point. But Dirty Diane, if you're not going to behave yourself, you will be the weakest link and you will be exposed, and then you will be thrown out because it seems that many other members of the audience do not like you, Dirty Diane. So there we go. Next question. Question 11. In sport, which nation was the surprise winner of the Euro 92 football championship? The surprise winner. It was not Sweden. Claudia wins with Denmark. Claudia gets the point, and thank you to Dirty Diane for saying most gracious, but not spelt correctly. But so I hope Dirty Diane has realized that she needs to behave better. We will give you a chance, Dirty Diane, but if you continue to upset Harriet and Angela, Harriet and Angela are the most two loyal listeners and viewers, and they will not tolerate this. And we don't. And Dirty Diane, you've now said LOL. I don't like LOL. People who say LOL, seriously, please go and put yourself in a box. Absolutely awful. Right, I think we may have to get rid of you, Dirty Diane. OMG. No, do not tolerate OMG. So, unless Dirty Diane wishes to make a full apology right now, it's going to. Right, she's used the word toilet. Right, well, bye bye, Dirty Diane. You're gone. Dirty Diane's point is now taken away from her. So reallocate that, please, Harriet, to whoever you wish. Bye bye, Dirty Diane. Horrible name. Ta-ta, Dirty Diane, says Angela. Oh, well. Well, Diane has gone, so we don't need her. Right. Question number 12. From which musical does the song Consider Yourself come from? Consider Yourself? There you go. It was not Cats. Woodstocks 13-11 wins with Oliver. Oliver Twist. Consider Yourself. There we go. One of the family. In building the sandstone Dolly Dale, also known as Stancliffe, comes from which county? This is from where I was born, actually. So there we go. I know the answer to this. Question 13. The winner is Davina Wilson with Derbyshire. There we go. Question 14. In the human body, how many pairs of nasal bones are there? There aren't two. No. Two is an incorrect answer. Nicole wins with 1. Nicole is the winner. Nicole gets the point. Which actress is the mother of actor Larry Hagman? It's not Mrs. Hagman, no. It's not Jenna Davis. Paulie gets it correct, but incorrectly spells it, but I will allow it. Mary Martin. I think you just typed a little incorrectly. So Paulie can have the point. Mary Martin. Question number 16. The 3 sections of an insect's bodies are head, thorax, and ... What is it? Chris 67 gets the point with abdomen. Sweet Sue is complaining of nepotism again. No. We've had many new people win points on this quiz tonight, so please don't be difficult. Please don't start, because you will be shown to be the weakest link, and we will soon say goodbye to you as well. So please, pipe down, put a sock in it. Enough is enough. Seriously, grow up. I can only judge this quiz in the order that I receive. the acceptances. So please stop being a pain in the proverbial. Thank you. Goodbye. Right. Darling Harbour and King's Cross are both districts of which Australian city? Question number 17. Thank you very much to Tina De Silva for yet another donation. LOL. I don't like LOL, as you know, Tina, but I think I'd rather like you. You're very generous. You seem to be a very generous person. And one day I hope to meet you. Thank you very much, Tina De Silva. So thank you, Tina. The winner of the point, however, is, oh gosh, we're going to go backwards now, is Joanne Taylor. Joanne Taylor wins with Sydney. Joanne Taylor has that point. Question number 18. Right. Which Spanish writer, author of The House of Bernardo Alba, was shot by nationalists in 1936? Question number 18. I need the full name. I cannot accept anything other than the full name. It is not Lorca and it's not Lucione. No. Well, none of you have got it yet. Oh dear. It was not Jerry Adams. And it wasn't Scaredy Cat Nicola. And it wasn't Pedro. It wasn't Lighten Up. Lydia of Aragon has got it. Federico Garcia Lorca. Lydia of Aragon gets the point. Our penultimate question is Sir Isaac Pitman's system of shorthand writing was first published in which century? I only need the century. I don't need the year. No years particular. The winner is Rachel Jones, who gets 19th century. Rachel Jones gets the point. So again, proof that we're not biased. It's the first finger first. The Rachel Jones, well done to Rachel. And the final question. Which actor played the only juror to initially believe in the innocence of the defendant in the film 12 Angry Men? We haven't got it. It's not Joe Rogan. And I don't need some person moaning me about Andrew Bridgen. He's a piece of rubbish. It wasn't Tom Cruise. He's another piece of rubbish. It wasn't Joe Rogan. Right. No, it wasn't Tom Perkins, and it wasn't Jesus De Silva, whoever that is. Dickie Attenborough, no. Oh dear, you're not able to answer this question, it seems. It wasn't Cilla Black, and it wasn't Richard Harris. Oh dear. The winner with Henry Fonda is Mellifera. Mellifera gets the point, but Mellifera is a newbie, so I don't think Mellifera will win. Now we have to find out if anybody has actually won. I'm sure somebody out there amongst you has won more than others. Mr. Lee Kicker has said good old Google, which I think in some of your cases is what the way you're doing this, but I cannot control that either. But Sweet Sue has won. So thank you to the wonderful Debbie McGee, that is Harriet, for moderating this. And thank you and congratulations to Sweet Sue, Nicole Black Flag, I don't know what I mean, second place. Well done to everyone for participating. Thank you for joining in. You have been wonderful and delightful and joyous. So thank you to you and thank you to everyone else. So it's all been a delightful evening. And may I say to you all, happy evening to you all. Good night. Good gardening. Take care of yourselves. And as Jill Dando would say, don't have nightmares. Bye-bye.